welcome back. Today I'm going to be showing you a quick tutorial on Adobe XD on how to create two lovely mobile banking screens. So we're literally going to be creating two artboards in Adobe XD. So the first screen is going to literally be the splash page, which is the first thing people see when they come on, which says hello, please log in by using your given credentials and enjoy your workplace. So when you click on sign in, it goes to the second screen that shows basic account details like good morning Jane, current balance 2.5 million, statement, spend, income, history, and so on and so forth. So at the end of this tutorial, you're literally going to be able to create two of this, literally two artboards that have all of this. So the first thing is you should have Adobe XD installed and click on File, New. So we're going to be starting with a new document. You can click on the iPhone X or the iPad, any of these artboards. Truth is, we're just using this to get in to our Adobe XD. So once you click on iPhone X, we're literally not creating an iPhone X mobile screen. We're creating for Android, and so what we just do is we click on the iPhone over here on top. Just click on it and delete. And then we can look for the artboard sign on the left hand side. Scroll down to where we see Android mobile, because we're creating for Android mobile. Once you click on it, you can see that you have an artboard for Android mobile. So the first thing is we want to create that splash screen. That's what the first thing the users see, right? That's the splash screen. And so that's the first thing we would like to create first. So how do we do that? So we had literally click on the text tool here, click on the artboard and type in hello. That's the first thing we saw there. So what we're going to try and do is we're going to try and centralize this and change the font to Poppins, bold, and then try and increase this to maybe like 50. Centralize this, change our color to black. So the first thing we had was hello, and then the next thing we had was the please log in by using giving credentials. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on our text tool again, click on here and have please log in by using giving credentials. So we're going to make sure that our text here is probably like 12, right? So I had a problem here, login using credentials. TIAS and enjoy your workspace or workplace. Okay, so what I want to do here is centralize these two as well, right, and justify it to the center. I'm going to reduce this from bold to medium, makes it look good. And then the next thing we want to do is we want to have a sign up button. I'm going to pop that right here. So what I did, I clicked on this and then that's the rectangle tool and I drew a button, right? So the button is going to have rounded edges of 10 and we're going to give it a color yellow, right, and remove the border and give it a shadow so it gives it some sort of illusion. We're going to put a sign in here, right? So click on the text tool, click on sign in and write in sign in, right? So we're going to centralize that too as well. One second, let's make the medium to probably bold or something like that. I think bold makes more sense. right? And then underneath we have something like new here. If you're new here, you create an account, right? So we're going to just duplicate this by holding on option and dragging down. So we just have new here, create accounts. So that's literally like a question. So are you new here? Create account. Make this medium 2 as well, or semi bold, and then try and get create account to have a different text color. So there are two different things, quite obvious. So you can see that this is literally the splash page. We can just have to deal with some adjustments, like bringing this down a little bit and making sure that there's enough space in between all of these things. But regardless, this looks good, right? So this is the first page. So the second page is, or our second ad board will be the dashboard, right? So what do people see when they sign in, right? So when you click preview and click on sign in, what is the next page that people see, right? So we're just going to duplicate this ad board by clicking on the ad board, holding an option and dragging to the right. Give it a spacing of 30, right? And we're now going to zoom in to this and create our dashboard, right? So how do we create a dashboard? Quick question. Let's just quickly delete all of these things we have here, right? Okay, 1 second. I'm trying to save all the colors. Okay, so now we have accounts. We have accounts here. Just drag this up here and use it for accounts. Make this bold or semi-bold, right? We're going to delete all of this. Have a good morning here. Remember, right? We have to increase this. Maybe we'll give it a 21, right? 21 may be too much. Let me give it an 18. You just have to play around. Then give the text for good morning to be probably medium, right? So we can now work on the next thing, which is like current balance. So we have current balance here, right? Okay, so we're gonna reduce this to maybe like 8, and then give this a different color to make it look slightly light. Gonna duplicate good morning Jane to give our currency, right? To 580000. Probably give this a $sign, just demonstration purposes. Okay, so the next thing we have on our list is our statements. We'll probably just duplicate this, have it up on our statements. So we would like to reduce this to probably like 12. Right, we can actually even still give it like 10 because we want this to look good. Duplicate this for spends, which is like expenditure, and then income. So the next thing we would like to do is make sure that we have some sort of active link here, right? So to know that we're on statements, let's have something that differentiates the colors. Yeah, can you see? That worked. So we just drew doing a little bit magic here for you guys to see how that came, right? I'm just trying to make sure that everything looks good, right? So the next thing we have here is now have history here, today how much we spent, and then the figures on the right hand side. Then we have our dashboard. literally like our menus here, and then we can round things up. Pretty straightforward. Okay, so we have history here on the left, right? So I do really just duplicate things so that things are a little bit more easier for you guys to understand. I mean, I don't necessarily have to keep on holding on my text tool, but then when I duplicate things, it's pretty much straightforward. You guys know that, okay, yeah, I'm duplicating it to make my work process faster. So we're going to reduce this to like 15, and then duplicate this too as well to like today. Right, so we have more to do with duplications than any other thing. Just hold on Option and drag, or hold on Alt and drag down, and then we've duplicated certain things. So for today expenditure or statement for today, I'll have to have probably like Spotify Premium right here. I want to make this black so it looks slightly different, and give it a 12 text size. Right, so underneath of that we have what was Spotify Premium for. It's literally a subscription, right? Okay, so we have that as a subscription. So remember, we have this at 12 and we have this at 8. That's good enough. And then obviously on the right hand side, we need to know how much was deducted. So we're just going to click on both by holding on Shift and selecting both of them, drag it with options to the right, right, and we're going to have here minus the amount that was collected or debited. So I was debited $10, and then underneath of how much we debited, we can have the time that we were debited, right? So 5:22 p.m. So that's literally what we have here. So all we just need to do is select on all of them by dragging all of them together, and we can just duplicate, right? Give it a spacing of 24, duplicate, give it another spacing of 24, and then duplicate, and then you can see that we can edit all of these things together. Pretty straightforward. So we can have this as Starbucks, right? So Starbucks is obviously food, right? And we can probably have 250, right? So $2.50, right? Time for this could be going down, could be like 3 o'clock or 3:12. Pretty straightforward. So the next we have is probably okay, let's just do Walmart, right? Walmart could be daily shopping, right? We could have $60 here, and going down we could have it at 122. Then the last thing we could have we could probably have just top up, right? So top up could be probably prepaid top up, or credit top up, or maybe income top up, right? So we can have that as income, right? So that's a positive sign that you received maybe $250, and that's what initiated you going out around 10 a.m. right? So we can, for experience, we can give this a different color to maybe like green, right? Yeah, probably leave all of these ones and give them red, so it's debits and credits. Okay, so the last thing we like to do right now is we like to give this a menu section. So the menu should be pretty straightforward. We're just going to draw a rectangle underneath, remove our border, give it a shadow, right? And then we're going to have a plus sign in the middle of the circle that we just drew. Remove the border, give it a shadow, hold on text, hold on, give it a plus sign. For an addition, give this to 15, right? And yeah, so that's going to be in the middle, and then we'll have our dashboard here. Trying to bring that to the front. Right, we can have all of this caps lock, right? And then on the other right hand side we can have space that goes for profile. Right, so you can see this is the basic view of how this looks like. It looks pretty straightforward, it looks good. You just need to know that every other thing is centralized and everything looks good and appealing to the eyes. Right, so to link both pages up, right, is something called prototype. Right, we're just going to do a basic prototype view of when you click on the sign in, where does it go to? It should go in here. Right, so the prototype is, click on the prototype. Before we're on design view, now click on prototype, click on the button we created and just drag to the next artboard. Pretty straightforward. Transition should be slide left. That way you see that when you click on sign in, it goes left, right? So that's literally